Yo, is Usman, just a question. You can tell me if I'm out of pocket for this. Is Usman a better wrestler than Habib Nurmagomedov? Is it even a question?
No,
Is
it's a
it even a
question. No, it's a
question?
question. It's a
Okay,
question.
so it
It's
is
a
a
debate.
question. All right.
Yeah, it's a debate.
I really
I
don't
would
know. I
say
mean, I see them as having the only thing that I see. You know what though? I will say Khabib's strength advantage over his weight class counterparts, I feel is more noticeable than Kamaru Usman's strength advantage. However, in terms of skill and like technical ability as a wrestler, who would you say is better? Who would you say is better?
I would. You know what? I would say Habib introduced so many interesting grappling concepts.
Uh,
Um, because Kamaru Usman does the American style really well, but
uh,
Habib has introduced so many aspects that are so useful for mixed martial arts. So if I said to them, both of you guys, hey, get on the mat, bring the wrestling singlet, and you're gonna have a wrestling match, no strikes. First one to pin, somebody wins. I think it's a question. I really do think it's a question. Um, I it would be interesting who wins, but if I were to say who's the better wrestler for mixed martial arts, I think it's Habib.
uh,
And because the Dagestani handcuff, for example, right? No one was doing that till Habib came in. Um, the leg control thing where Habib would squeeze his knees together to keep your legs from getting out of that pocket to get back up using the cage. Really great. Habib is really good off the cage, which a lot of guys. We just had Sam Alvey. Sam Alvey's a master at kind of keeping his back to the fence and using it as a way to stay up from going to the ground. Right? These are right, but Habib, that would be his game, right? He knows how to get you to the ground using the cage. Habib's really good off that single leg. He'll go low single and break you down using MMA techniques. He trips really well. He gets the back really well. And he's a better, I think he's better jiu-jitsu wise too, but that's not the question. So I would say Habib is probably the better wrestler for MMA.
is Habib the better jiu-jitsu?
Habib's got the better jiu-jitsu out of Kamaru.
Okay.
I think so. I think so, in my opinion. Um, but yeah, I would say their styles are different. Like they go for their objective is similar. They want to control the positioning. They want to control the pace, and by doing so, they use grappling to do so. But how they approach it, the skills they use, they differ. They differ. There are differences. Yeah.
All right, second question. Is Kamaru Usman a better welterweight than George St. Pierre? Why or why not? And if not, what does he need to do to become the better welterweight?
Okay, so I've always said that relative to their peers, Habib might have fought in the best division of all time. But George St. Pierre's strength of schedule is undoubtedly the best strength of schedule I have ever seen in mixed martial arts.
Okay.
If you were to pull up his record, right, and pull up who he had to face, and I'm just going to do it now just for reference because it was, especially the second title reign. So right after he got the title back, the second from Matt Serra, the second run was murderers row after murderers row. So okay, so I'll even go back to when he lost to Matt Serra. He faced Josh Koscheck, then he beat Matt Hughes for the interim title. Then he beat Matt Serra. Then he beat John Fitch, who was at the time undefeated. Then he beat BJ Penn in a rematch. Then he beat Thiago Alves, who was at this point juiced to the gills. Then he beat, well, allegedly juiced to the gills. Then he beat Dan Hardy, Josh Koscheck again, Jake Shields, who was the Strikeforce champion at the time, Carlos Condit, Nick Diaz, who was the Strikeforce champion before it got absorbed, Johnny Hendricks, and he beat Michael Bisping again for the title, for the middleweight title. That is an impressive schedule. Like Hall of Famers up and down that list, with the exception of maybe, and I mean it's only because I think his later career fell off a cliff. Thiago Alves, right? So when you look at Kamaru Usman's record, though, it's not that far off. It's not, right? And I'm going to pull it up just to show you, right? Kamaru Usman's record is pretty stacked. So I'm going to go from the time he started in the UFC. So the first fight in the UFC, okay? So his first fight in the UFC, excluding the Ultimate Fighter finale, is Leon Edwards. That's his first fight. First fight, Leon Edwards. Now, granted, they were both younger in their careers at the time, but Leon Edwards.
But based on where they are now, it's a good fight, right?
Yeah, it's a good fight. Then he faces Alexander Yakovlev. Okay, throwaway there. Warley Alves, who at the time was a killer. Sean Strickland, which was a throw-up. Sergio Moraes, BJJ champion, really highly regarded. Emil Mack, whatever you'd like to say, Mack. Then this is where it gets really crazy, right? He beats Damian Maia, RDA, Tyron Woodley, Colby Covington, Jorge Masvidal, and Gilbert Burns. Tough names, right? Tough names. Now, I think we can both agree that George St. Pierre's was probably better on paper.
Right.
So I would say that George St. Pierre's, and because George St. Pierre was the champion for longer, more guys are gunning and planning for George St. Pierre, even when they're not. You know what I'm saying? Like guys are adding to the games. Sorry?
Hold on. How many title defenses does Kamaru have?
So far, Kamaru Usman has 3. Colby, Jorge, Gilbert. George had, I believe, including the first title reign, 12. Oh, wait, he didn't even defend the title in the first time because he lost to Chris Weidman in his first title defense, right? So
who has the record for most title defenses? Isn't that Kamaru?
No. In the welterweight division, it's George St. Pierre walking away. George St. Pierre has, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He has 11 title wins, 10 title defenses.
I thought I heard some about Kamaru having the most title defenses or something. I don't know.
No, he has the most active win streak in the UFC, in the UFC welterweight division at I think 14 or something, some insane number like that. But no, it's active. But the point is that while I think we can agree that Kamaru, like George St. Pierre's, relative to his competition, was probably better. Kamaru Usman's been facing crazy competition too, and I just think that what it is that I wouldn't necessarily say that he has to get to 10 title defenses. I wouldn't say that, right? But what I would say though is he would have to probably beat some sort of combination of 3 of the 4.
But what about the fashion?
Let me finish. Let me finish because I need to explain this. He needs to beat some combination of 3 of the 4. Leon Edwards, Wonderboy Thompson. So Leon Edwards again, Wonderboy Thompson, right? Colby Covington again, and I guess for shiggles, let's say that it would have to be somebody who will reach the top 5 at some point in 2021 or 2022.
All right.
So I think he would have to beat some sort of combination of 3 of the 4, and I think it's a conversation.